This is the story about a young girl named Lucy, who lived with her grandparents, because her own mother and father had died young. But as time went by, Lucy would experience the presence of her dead mother, as in reflections, or the form of a burning candle, and eventually she would be taken to the other side. The grandparents had ignored the signs, and now, it was too late. For several years, the grandparents heard the screams from Lucy's room, which also had been the room of her mother and their daughter when she was little. And every time they went up to see, no one was there, but the light was always burning on the bedside table. The strange thing was that it never burned down. Each time they checked, it was just as tall as before, and it never got smaller. One winter night, the grandmother woke up because her daughter was standing by the closet, just like she had so many years ago, the day Lucy had disappeared. She got angry, but also scared and shouted, "Give us our Lucy back." Lucy's mother smiled and said, "She's mine now." Then she disappeared again. That same night the grandma woke up again, this time by the smell of smoke. The light on the bedside table had overturned, and large parts of the room were on fire. She quickly woke up the grandfather. Together they were able to extinguish the fire before it spread, but parts of the wallpaper were burned, together with the bed, the bedside table, and the frame on the mirror were also blackened by the fire. Many years would go by, and the grandparents would eventually die. The house would see many new families move in. The first family had an 11-year-old girl, who was given the same room that Lucy once had. They brought in new furniture, and the only place they could see that it had burned was the wallpaper. Just like Lucy before, the girl would often wake up to a candle on the bedside table burning. She did not use candles, because this was after the electric power came. Another time she was up in her room, she could suddenly see Lucy's face in the mirror. Eventually it got so bad, that the family had to remove the mirror from her room, for her to dare to sleep there. But it would still end tragically, as the girl died when she was only 14 years old, and no one knows exactly what happened. She was found dead in her room, and it seemed as if she had fallen, and hit her head on the edge of the bed. She was found with wide open, frightened eyes. Then that family moved out as they felt there was something evil about the house. The next families to move in never lived in that house for more than half a year. Two of the families had daughters, who were found dead in that very same room. Many of the families could tell that they had seen a little girl, with blonde hair, and a white nightgown in the mirror. In 1992, a family found that it had been cut or scratched, "Help me," in the flower wallpaper in the wall. And when they replaced it with a new one, there was a fire in the room, and the new wallpaper burned down. No one knew the cause of the fire, because no one was using that room at the time, and no stoves were on, and no candles should be burning inside. After this, that family also moved out. It is said that the house is empty today, and that no one has lived in it for the last 10 years, probably because of all the rumors that have been told over the years. The house has been featured on UK's Most Haunted Houses, and also in several other media outlets. Once there was a man who passed by the house late at night, who claimed to have seen the face of a young girl, in the window on the second floor. Another time, a group of friends passed by on Halloween, who had seen a flickering light from the same room. When they were about to go back again, the light was gone, but then they could hear screams. They became terrified, and ran away. It is said that you can sometimes see the light from the candle in the window, if you walk past a late night, hear the screams, or maybe even see Lucy, standing in the window, and looking straight down at you.